So I finally finished the book, and baby Sarah let it all out. Okay, let's get into it. I actually feel safer talking about this book on this app because the things that Sarah Williams had to say about how Facebook operates, if this was on one of his apps that he owns, you all probably wouldn't even see it. So the book starts off about her talking about her life and her wanting to join Facebook and the lengths that she went to actually get a job in Facebook. She saw the future of Facebook as far as international, and she was like, I want to be a part of it because she's Kiwi, she's from New Zealand, and she was like, Facebook is getting bigger and bigger and you need to have like an international division. And Mark was all in because he was like all about, oh, I want to bring people together. It was all about bringing people together until it wasn't. And all that changed in the 2015 election. Trump's team figured out that if they spent all their money in ads with Facebook and how the algorithm rewards hatred and discontent and misinformation, well, they just use the algorithm to their advantage. And Trump had people in Facebook working in tandem with people on his campaign. And so, Facebook was seen as something liberal. So when Trump won the election, it was like really devastating for a lot of people who work for Facebook. But the people who, were in DC working with Facebook was like, yay. So Mark was flying to Peru, I want to say, and his next in command, not Cheryl, but this guy named Joel and this guy named Elliot, they were telling him like, yeah, we got Trump the election. We did that. And he was like, no. And finally he realized like, oh shit, it was because of Facebook that we threw the election to Trump. And instead of being a normal thinking, feeling human being and being like, oh shit, I fucked up, he was like, oh my God, look at all this power that I have. And in the book, it talks about how this weirdo was actually thinking about running for president since he was able to see what Facebook did for Donald Trump. She then talks about how he kind of switches from wanting to run for president because he realizes he's much more powerful than the president. And then he gets his sights set on China. If you choose to read the book, the shit that he was trying to do to get his foot in China, everything that he was accusing TikTok of doing to get it, in front of a congressional hearing and trying to get it banned was exactly what he was doing. He was going to allow China to have database servers in China that allowed them to spy on every last citizen who signed up. He was even making information available to China for people who wasn't even in China. So if you're in America and you friends with somebody in China and y'all messaging each other back and forth, China will have access to all of your shit. All that shit that Mark got up in front of Congress talking about, no data protection, no encryption. And to get his foot in China, this man was like, oh yeah, you can have everybody's information. Just let us get up in that thing. There's also a section on Myanmar and how the use of Facebook in Myanmar and the way they didn't regulate it led to tens of thousands of people dying, rioting. Buddhist monks were waging Taliban-like war on the Muslims over there because of Facebook. Like, it's diabolical, and they didn't give a damn. It's diabolical. Don't even get me started on the shit that they do to kids over here. At Facebook, they were looking at the deleted selfies of 13 to 17-year-old girls to then market to them a beauty ad. Because if you take a selfie and delete it, you think it's gone forever. But no, they're looking at what you delete in order to prey on your goddamn insecurities to send you a fucking ad. They're looking at what you delete. They're looking at what you post. They're looking at where you are. We already know they all do this, but the way they give that information to different organizations and corporations, this isn't in the book, but this is just something that I know. He let Netflix dig all in your Facebook Messenger to target you and to market to you different shows and to come up with different show ideas based on your goddamn messages in Facebook Messenger. That shit is diabolical. When I found that out, Well, that's not true. When I watched The Great Hack, that's when I deleted my Facebook. If you have not seen The Great Hack, they show how they manipulated all the data that they have on you to sway Brexit and to sway people for the 2015 election. Let me show you a clip.
Who has seen an advertisement that has convinced you that your microphone is listening to your conversations? All of your interactions, your credit card swipes, web searches, locations, likes, they're all collected in real time into a $1 trillion a year industry.
The real game changer was Cambridge Analytica. They'd worked for the Trump campaign and for the Brexit campaign. They started using information warfare.
Cambridge Analytica claimed to have 5,000 data points on every American voter.
I started tracking down all these Cambridge Analytica ex-employees.
Someone else that you should be calling to the committee is Brittany Kaiser.
And the sexual harassment that she talks about in this book that she had to experience, and nobody gave a damn, from men and women. From men and women. The shit that was said to her, the things that was asked of her, men and women. Lawyers brushed it off. HR brushed it off. She did everything that she was supposed to do. She went through every proper channel and then some to put a stop to it. They nada, nothing. Like the shit that they were asking her to do, baby, that's Sheryl Sandberg. Nothing nice. My biggest takeaway from this book is get your children off these apps. The way that they manipulate and take our data and regard, they can literally, it's like mind control what they can do with our data in the way that they market to us. Kids do not need that. We're already seeing the effects of social media on kids. Get your children off these goddamn apps, right? Because they don't have their children on the apps. You've never even seen their kids because they know what they're doing and they don't want to do that to their kids. We're always talking about protecting children from predators, and we talk about family members, and we talk about the church, and we talk about organizations and all these different games. These social media apps are the biggest fucking predators, and we give our kids unfettered access to it. Why? Get your kids off these goddamn apps. I do highly suggest that you read the book if you are interested in this. I also highly suggest, the only thing that can stop Mark Zuckerberg is if you delete your meta apps. That's literally all he cares about. It's not even about the money at this point. It's about the power, and the power comes from the people that he has on these apps. That's the only way to solve this problem. We're concerned about the presidency. We're concerned about what's going on in this country. We need to be more concerned about these CEOs of these social media apps. Check this book out.